Part 2, episode 263.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I am Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome. And if you are one of our return viewers, thank you for watching and thank you for putting up with the weird schedule that we've had for the last 6 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Lots going on. Job-wise, house-wise, and
life in general.
We are recording in my new house. And it's going to echo because we have no rugs and nothing on the walls and hardly any furniture. We still haven't gotten all our furniture in the house. Oh, and I want to give a shout out for my shirt. It is a unicorn with a knife wrapped on its head and it says, I will cut you.
I saw the words, but I didn't understand it, but now I see the knife.
It's like an angry unicorn. I got it at Comic-Con.
Oh, all right. I was going to say, where'd you get it? It's cute.
I like it.
Don't mess with her. She'll cut you.
I know. My neighbor met me when I was wearing this. Afterwards, I was like, oh, I hope she didn't think that was weird, that my shirt says, I will cut you. So, but yeah.
She got a kick out of it.
I don't know. I think she's a little bit beyond the generation that would get a kick out of this. So, anyway.
Shout outs. Through the end of the year, we're doing the Blue Moon Fiber Arts Knit Along, Crochet Along. I got in touch with last month's winner because we haven't recorded in a while. And I think I still owe you the knit minder, which it looks like this. Well, one of these. So I still owe you that, and I will send it out to you. I apologize.
Yes,
but everything else has been sent out.
Huntress 1327. I did finally notify Boston Jen that you won that pattern, and I'm sorry for the delay, but I lost the show notes. Well, they're in the house somewhere, but I didn't find them.
That's
I actually saw them briefly when we first moved in. Somebody borrowed the notebook that I wrote on, and I don't know where. I can't find it. So I don't know. It could have gotten back in another box because we moved from the basement into the rest of the house. I don't know.
So we are doing another knit along. It's school colors, teen colors, sports, anything like that. Just your colors. Post the picture and what colors they're from.
Yeah,
whether
it
it's
could be your favorite
team.
Sports team, and it could be your favorite school sports team. It could be your favorite professional sports team. A favorite Olympic team. Whatever would be good.
Just school colors.
Yeah.
Organized colors. Yeah. And that's going through
October,
November and December. Through the end of the year.
Yes.
And at the end of the podcast, we will be drawing 4 final prizes for the charity shawl knit along.
Yes, we have already drawn those numbers
before
the show today.
So on the dance card,
it's you first.
Oh, all right. So on the dance card, I have a vanilla sock toe up with the Judy's Magic cast on for the toe and the fish lips keel. I do that every time. Fish lips kiss heel. I always want to do kiss and heel together, make it keel. Maybe I'll just name it differently. So this is Blue Moon Fiber Arts in the Pumpkin Chunkin' colorway. I got this with a update 2 years ago from Simply Sock Yarns, and it was a kit with the yarn. I mean, the bag.
Yeah, that's cute.
And if you look inside, it matches perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm finally using it. I don't think I used it. This is what it looks like all balled up.
Pretty.
It is pretty. It's very pretty. And obviously you get different effects depending on how much the stitches.
Right, and what size needle you use.
Yeah, so I'm using 1.5 on the square, my typical recipe that I use for all my socks. Like I need another pair, like I need a hole in my head. I'm just finishing this one row. I do have one more thing on the needles. It's a sample scarf. And I'm doing this for a shop sample for my local yarn store. It's out of Baroque Vintage gray colorway. And I'm doing this because I am teaching 2 people how to knit through the store, which is fun. And we had our first class this week. And I asked them, because my local yarn store crochets. She doesn't know how to knit.
Oh.
So she's been asking me to do all this stuff, which is nice. but I asked them if they knew how to crochet, because if they did, then you'd teach them. Yeah, I would have taught them how to pick,
Yeah.
because I think it would have been easier on how they hold it. So, but they both never have knit, never had crocheted. So the name of this is Beginner Stitch Sampler Scarf by Christina Tucker. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And what it does is it, starts off in the garter stitch, you go into the stockinette stitch, and then you start doing variations of both. This happens to be the basket weave, and then I'm doing a seed stitch. And I think afterwards I think it's called the extended seed stitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do a light ribbing for a little bit. I'm doing 2 skeins of Barocco Vintage, which is chunky. So I'll do that until I run out, and then I'll reverse it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And, I think it's going to be a great little crossover. This is a shop sample. I didn't pay for the yarn, and I'm not keeping it. Which is fine. It's a nice yarn. I'm not saying anything. It's nice.
Barocco Vintage is nice.
It's an acrylic wool blend, I think. So that's the only 2 things that I have actively on the needles.
What was the name of the scarf again? Because I totally was listening to it and I didn't write it down.
Beginning Stitch Sampler Scarf.
Beginning Stitch Sampler by
Christina Tucker.
Okay. Barocco Vintage.
Very nice yarn to knit with, and it goes really quick because it is chunky. I'm using size 10 needles.
Oh yeah, chunky. So I am knitting Recoleta by Joji Locatelli. My second Joji Locatelli sweater this year, actually.
What was the first one?
Lemongrass.
Oh, yeah.
The one that I did that was red, which I still haven't blocked because I can't find my sweater dryer.
Oh, all right,
thing.
yeah.
And until this week, I didn't really have a place to put it. I can't find anything. So I finished the body of this sweater. It's a cardigan, actually.
Pretty.
Let's see if I can get that to show. Yeah, it is really pretty. It's going to block out. This is also Barocco. This is Barocco Inca Gold, which is wool and silk blend.
That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
And I think it's going to be really soft when it's done.
It feels it now.
Yeah, and I think when it blocks out, this is going to be really pretty because the back is all lace. So try to stretch it out a little bit. It's really pretty. And I just have to knit the sleeves.
So is this how you leave the edge?
Yes.
I love it.
It's just a self-finishing edge.
I love it.
And it's knit in one piece. So it's an interesting construction. You start knitting the collar, and then you pick up for the back, and then you knit the back and the sleeve, everything at the same time. And then at the end, you pick up where you had divided for the sleeves, and you just knit the sleeves on. So I haven't done a sweater with this kind of neck. It's like a shawl neck in quite this way before. So it was interesting. I made one modification to the pattern. I'm pretty much doing it exactly. I think I'm doing the size large. And is it large or did I do? I'm either doing large or extra large. I can't remember now. And I made it 2 inches longer. They said to make it a total of 16 inches from below the armpit, and I added a couple inches just because I like a longer one that covers my butt. And my experience with Joji Locatelli sweaters have been that they're just a little too short for me. So your mileage may vary. But in order to do that, all I did was continue knitting the body for 2 extra inches, and then until I did the ribbing. And you can see the ribbing is interesting. It goes across the bottom, but it doesn't go across the front.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, to make them look more decorative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying that. I actually this is Deep Stash. I bought this in 2007 or 2008 for a different sweater. So, and I still have a bunch left. I have like 7 skeins left because I was a lot bigger when I bought the yarn. So I don't need quite as much now.
Now the sleeves, is it just straight solid, or do you do any of the lace?
No, it's just a straight plain stockinette sleeve, and I'm doing it by magic loop. And I might follow the instructions, or I might just do my standards. I have like a standard sleeve that I do. I think the measurements are about the same. I always end up with like about 50 for the cuff, and when I start the decreases, I decrease like every inch until I get down to sleeve size. Yeah. And then I just knit it until it's as long as I want. I will probably end up adding length to the sleeves too, because I have long arms. But it depends. I'll have to try it on when I get one sleeve done to see, because I don't want it to be too long. But I really like it. I think this is going to be like a staple, a wardrobe staple. And so that's number one. And number two, I am knitting another going up sock out of Dark Side colorway in Knit Picks Felici. Let me look. Dark Side, it is. It's like a less flamboyant rainbow color, I guess. Muted. There, I couldn't think of the word muted. What is going on here? There's like some kind of a situation. There we go. So I made this little, I modified a stitch from a stitch dictionary, and I made it into these little lace chevrons. And it's knit on my usual base sock. And I'm getting close to the point where I need to. Do you have your sock ruler with you?
I might.
I can't. I packed my sock ruler. I can't find it.
This. That's all I got.
Sorry. It's not my mom, surprisingly. It was Lois. I'm like, I'm recording right now. Turn my phone off. All right. So, yeah, I'm getting. Does this work the same way?
Yeah.
I have never used mine. Okay.
So these are the inches, and that's the shoe size.
Okay. I see. So I want to get it to here. So I'm almost there. All right. So, yeah, I'm almost at the heel. I love Felici, as people know. I actually was on Knit Picks the other day because I was crazily thinking of starting a different project. What was it? It was something insane. Fox paws that really...
Oh.
And I was like, I kind of want to make that. So I was looking at yarn, and I noticed that they didn't have any Felici left, so they've sold out of it for now. But they usually get it
by the
twice
end of
a
the
year
or the beginning of the year.
They usually get one in the summer and one in the fall, so it might be nearing Felici time again. I don't know, or we might have just passed Felici time. I can't remember.
I don't remember seeing it on Instagram.
So I know
nothing new.
So I definitely bought this year, so there may be another update soon. Maybe that's why it's not on the website right now. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, that's how it looks. I'm enjoying it. And this I mostly knit today while I was at the car dealership. So, and I will try to publish this too. I have 2 patterns that need to be published right now. So.
Well, now that things are settling down.
Now that I have a little more time, I might actually be able to do something, assuming I can find any of my stuff anymore. So that's it for me on the dance card.
So rate your date. I have a few dates to rate, but I do not have them with me. So the plain vanilla socks have been given away to their intended owner. Those were made out of Koigu. Is that how you pronounce it? Koigu. And they're very happy. So those were given away. And then I think I was working on the Snuggle Sack. And a matching hat to go with it. I gave those away on Monday because she is due to have her baby on the 2nd of November. She's having a C-section.
Oh, yeah.
And really, honestly, that could go any day.
Yeah.
So, If you need to see a picture of them, they're in my project page. I'm not going to show them here on my iPad because it never works well.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
My iPad just doesn't like your computer. So those are my 2 dates to rate.
I have one project half done. I finished one going up sock. There it is. I really enjoyed this pattern. It's pretty easy to do, like it's pretty easy to follow along with. And I like how wide it is on the sock. It gives you a lot of real estate on the sock, so I think it's interesting. It would look really equally good if you centered it in the middle of the sock as it does on, I mirrored these obviously, but it would look really good if you did it right in the center of the sock. And I, unfortunately on this particular sock, I did the triple decrease wrong for about half of the sock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said that.
So that it doesn't look as nice. You can see it on the bottom there. See how it's kind of bumpy? Whereas when you look at this sock, it makes a nice, neat line straight up the center of the chevrons. So that was kind of sad. But I didn't feel like ripping it back. I knew it was wrong. At some point, I was like, why does this look like this? And then I realized what I was doing wrong. Basically, when you do a center double decrease, you're supposed to slip 2 stitches together, knit the next stitch, and pass the 2 slip stitches over. What I was doing was slip the first stitch, slip the second stitch, knit 1, and then pass the 2 over. It makes the yarn lie differently. You want to end up with the middle stitch line on top of the first stitch, so that when you knit them all together, the middle stitch is on top of the 2 other stitches.
Right.
And that's what I was doing wrong. So that was a lot of explanation, probably hard for people to visualize, but that was what I did wrong. So don't make that mistake if you do a center double decrease. That's all I have as my project have done. And I was able to find these. I unpacked these today.
Oh, good.
I think my sock ruler's in that thing too, so I have to look for it later.
Hacks it?
The
Which
what?
thing? What thing?
The not this one.
No. What thing was it?
Oh, my big
I want to call it a hackset, but that's not what it is. The ottoman?
no, that I emptied out. It might be with that stuff too, which means it's in a box. No, I have a big canvas
all right.
bucket almost. It's like a canvas bucket with rope handles, and that I just packed by wrapping it in that like stuff that's like saran wrap. So I opened that up, and that's where my sock blockers were. And I think the
good.
sock
Probably
ruler.
a sock ruler.
It's
Probably.
either in there or it's in one of my it's in the last project bag that I used, which could be in a box. So we'll find out. I mean, I have it. I just
Right. You just gotta find out.
the
where.
first day that I got to a heel, I pulled out the sock, and I was like, I pulled out my bag, and I'm like, where's my sock ruler? So I had to measure it. Who knows if that other sock is going to fit right. I'm so used to using that sock ruler now that I was like, I don't even know. So
That's funny.
All right, so no whirlwind romances, but as soon as I find my other spinning wheel, there will be, because I feel like there's so much more space in my living room now that I'll have more space to spin.
Oh, good.
So I'm looking forward to that. Future dates?
Socks. Somebody. One of my coworkers who I knit a sock for, the guy that I knit for, apparently he's going to become an uncle.
Oh.
And he asked if I would knit some things for him. I said, sure, I would.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
Will he pay you?
We haven't discussed. This was like through a third party.
Oh, I see.
So we haven't discussed. I have no idea. If he doesn't, not a big deal. But other than that, I have socks and...
I would at least want him to pay for the yarn.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. There was something else I was going to throw in. I don't know. You know what? It's one of those things that you look on Ravelry and you're like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. So it's
kind of like with me and Fox Paws.
Yeah.
Like,
it's more like what strikes me for the moment. I think I know the next sock I'm going to knit, Blue Moon, and I think I might do another monkey sock.
Huh. You know what I might do? I might pull out some of my fancy Sundara yarn and do fox paws out of that.
Ooh, that would be pretty.
Because I'm sure
Now, is
I have
fox
enough-
paws a sock or is it a
It's just a
blanket sort of
shawl,
Yeah,
kind of.
that's that funky
Like
looking one, right?
that looks like little fox paws.
Yeah, I think I know which one.
Yarn
it is. A
Harley
lot of
did
different
it.
colors, right?
5 colors. It would be a good way to use up 5 skeins of that yarn, and since Sundara skeins are kind of short skeins,
And it would mean something to you. It's
yeah,
nice.
it would be. So I'm thinking I might do
that's
that.
a good idea.
We'll see. I have a lot of other stuff I have to get done before. I need to finish the sweater. I was also looking at other sweaters and realizing what I need to do, and this is going to be a future date, is I need to rip out 3 or 4 of my existing sweaters, wash the yarn, reskein it, and plan to knit something new out of it because several of the sweaters that I have are so big that I won't wear them.
'Cause they
There's
just
nothing wrong with them, but I just won't wear them because they don't fit right and they feel weird and they're like shapeless now, and because I sized them to fit me before. So that's some work to do rather than buy any more yarn, sweaters worth of yarn, knit from the old sweaters,
It's a good idea.
repurpose them. If I can maybe steek a couple of them and
Ooh,
sew them
okay.
together,
That
I
would
might
be
do
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Save some time, but a couple of them, the size problem is so extensive that I need to really just reknit them. And so that's something that I'll be working on, over the
Figuring
winter.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
finding a new pattern that will work with it and making something else. And then I can enjoy the sweaters again and not put them on and think, this just looks like a mess. It looks, because honestly, it looks like I didn't know how to knit a sweater for myself and it just is way the wrong size. So, Oscar. So, that's my future dates.
Baubles and bling?
Now, oh yeah, I forgot to put that in.
So I have baubles and bling. I ended up scooting over to Rhinebeck real quick just for a couple of nights. And I purchased some things. First off, I got Turtle Purl yarn. It's in the Nano colorway. It's very bright and stripy. And I enjoyed knitting with the Turtle Purl that we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the brightness of the colors that they dyed for. So I was looking for this. So I got this. I went to the Fold, which is who usually has Blue Moon. I did not buy any Blue Moon, but they finally, after a couple of years, had more Gypsy Girl. So I ended up
That's
buying.
been several years.
It's been several, 2 or 3 at least.
And they didn't have it at Maryland either because I checked both times I went to Maryland for you too. So it's.
I don't know why all of a sudden this year, but maybe they got enough complaints. Who knows? So this is Gypsy Girl, and this is the Tackle colorway. It's basically
Kind of
blue,
like
white,
oceany or
yeah,
whatever.
with speckles in it. So the reason I like it is I don't want to call it a gradient yarn, but it kind of is. It's transitions. It transitions into one color. And then I had one of these, and I bought a second one, and this is, Glacier Bay. Which one's which? I think this is my older one because of the sticker. I think this is my older one, and this.
That they're
newer, or
really
it could be-
close in color.
Yeah, they
so
really are. So
She must do a pretty good job of keeping her colorways consistent.
So I don't know if these will be socks or if this will be like a shawl with a contrasting color.
Oh, that'd be pretty.
And then I was at a booth that was displaying collage needles. They were doing Needle of the Month Club, and they were focusing on their square needles.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't like they're doing. But in doing so, she was also, I guess you could pick either a circular or you could pick double pointed. And in showcasing the double pointed square needles, they showed off this yarn, and I asked her more about the yarn. And they had it's a limited edition, they had it specially dyed for them. Crazy Dog Yarns dyed it on a Louette Gems base, which is 100% superwash merino. This is called Maple Leaves in the Fall.
Pretty.
Yeah, it is. It's really pretty. It does look like leaves in the fall. So that's a self-striping yarn. The Turtle Purl is a self-striping. These are kind of gradient. And then I went one more with the gradient. This is Cherries Jubilee Fiber Optic Gradient Set, I think they call it. paint box gradient. It's in the 80% superwash, 20% nylon. Each one of these 15 skeins is 30 yards each.
Yeah, I like those gradient
Yeah,
sets. They're pretty.
There's another shawl that I might do this with. I was kind of looking for it. I don't know if I think it will be enough. I can't think of the name of the shawl. Give me a minute, I'm sorry. I've been looking at this shawl and I've been thinking about it with my Gypsy Girl, but the Gypsy Girl just isn't enough yarn. It's called the First Point of Libra shawl. And I think you're supposed to use a gradient set. Let's see if it works. Nope.
I don't know why it doesn't.
Because yours does, right?
Yeah, it's just yours. It must have some like screen thing that just.
I don't even have a screensaver on this.
But you know what I mean? It might have like the older screen might just not be compatible with whatever's going on. Because I have a Retina display. Maybe it doesn't like the way your screen looks, or like.
So that's probably about as good as it's going to get. It's called the First Point of Libra, and you use a gradient set down the side. Mm-hmm. It's, I think, a paid-for pattern, and I'm just taking a guess by the looks of the construction. You do the gradient down the side, and then you knit the plain triangle, and then the gradient up on the top. But the difference is, I think they use 5 colors. Mm-hmm. And it's like 2 of each color, so this may not work for it. But there's so many gradient shawls out there right now.
Yeah.
That I'm not afraid of not being able to find something for.
I'm sure you'll find something.
And it's a little out of my comfort zone. I tend to go for the blue and the greens. So this will be fun. That's all I got, which is obviously plenty.
I don't have any crushes or any baubles and bling. I haven't had time to buy anything for myself because I've been so busy. So, and I really don't need anything because now that I'm unpacking, I'm finding all this stuff that I forgot I had. So
trust me, I don't need it either.
Crushes and heartbreak.
Crushes and heartbreak. So first off, it's my husband's birthday today. We're gonna celebrate tomorrow or Sunday. He's got some gifts waiting for him, but tonight I was recording, but if he wanted me to come home, I would have come home. Mm-hmm. But Max is at his football game, and so we weren't all going to be around. And tomorrow, Zachary wants to go to Screamfest, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. My son is afraid of clowns and anything scary, and the fact that he wants to go is just
weird.
Unlike him at all.
Well, maybe he's coming out of his shell.
No, because when I was talking to him, he goes, "Well, Mom, you can wear a necklace so that they don't scare you." I'm like, "That's fine and dandy." I said, "But there's clowns everywhere." So that's why I think we're going to go, because that way he's got somebody who's going to go with a friend last week. And
yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. So we'll see. Other than that, we're just moving along. Zachary's got an appointment November 11th. We meet with the surgeon.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we meet with the surgeon and then the audiologist again, and we'll see more of where his time frame is going to be.
Great.
I went to Rhinebeck. It was fun. Had a good time. It was great weather. Met lots of people. I was not at the podcast meetup. I didn't announce that I was going to Rhinebeck. It was very low key for me. It was a spur of the moment because I was planning on working, but with my temporary position right now, I wasn't sure if I was going to go. So I had a good time. The drive sucked, but it is what it is. What else is going on? I feel like really nothing. Just working, dealing with having teenagers. That's about it. It's taxiing around quite a bit.
Yeah. That's always hard.
Other than that,
my crush would be that we are finally actually living in the main part of our house. For the last 2.5 weeks, we were living on the first floor, which has a guest suite of rooms. It has a bedroom, a living area, and a bathroom. And they were painting and redoing all the floors in the upper level of my house. It's a raised ranch, so you walk in the half basement and go upstairs if you want to be in with the living room and all the main living spaces upstairs. So it's almost done. They have one little thing that they need to finish up, and then it'll be completely done. But we were able to move in. We started moving our furniture in Friday, a week ago today.
Oh, good.
And then we had to have a little bit more work done. There were touch-ups and stuff. They come back and they do a punch list, and so and then of course, you know, my husband haven't been able to move the furniture because he works and he doesn't feel like moving furniture when he comes home. So we will be doing more of that this weekend. I'm starting the slow process of unpacking everything. All of our stuff is either in the unfinished portion of the first floor or in our attic. So I've just been going up and opening up boxes and putting everything away one at a time. Just that's what I'm doing. We still have a lot of stuff that needs to get done. So this is kind of the heartbreak. We still need to have a plumber in. It's not an emergency, but we need there's a leak, a drip. There's a drip in one of the bathrooms that is annoying. Yeah. And we need to replace a shower stall in the guest bathroom because it's really old and rusted. We knew that when we bought the house. So, and it's hard to get a plumber in right now because they're all doing servicing for heating systems. I know, because my heating guy is not going to be able to come out until December to service mine. I had to get we have oil heat now, which we haven't had in like 20 years, so I had to get an oil company. So they're coming. I have set up an energy audit so they can tell us how we can save money heating this house because it is quite a bit more open than our old house, like more space, and I'm worried about the cost of heating it. It's also better insulated than our old house because it's not as old. Right. But
right now, oil is cheap, $1.94 a gallon.
Yay! But
just because we ordered some, that's how I know.
You know, for people who don't know this, ask your oil company if you can do a scheduled payment plan. It is it doesn't work for everybody.
It didn't work for us.
Because it turns out that I can pay a regular amount for 10 months and it will cover my heating for the year. And I would rather spread it out over the whole year than have big payments in the winter. Because in the winter, there's holidays and it's expensive and, you know. So I enrolled in that and I already made my first payment and I like that much better. It would not have worked for me in the past sometimes, but it will. It's so much easier to budget knowing that that's what I'm going to pay every month. So I'm all about that.
The one that we got to, that's what we were planning on, but they didn't explain it right to Cam and it just didn't work out well.
Yeah. I like mine. The oil company that we chose has been heating this house for 15 years. And he said they use an algorithm to determine when to deliver your oil. So it's on demand. You know, basically they come regularly. And he said, go into your basement right now and look at your oil tank. He said, I'll tell you pretty much exactly how much oil's in there based on our algorithm. And it was right. I was like, you're right. That is how much oil's in there. And he's like, yeah, after 15 years of heating the place, we know. Pretty much.
We don't have the same people heat ours, but we have the same people who service ours. We've been using the same people since the owners previous to us.
Yeah.
But we have different oil.
This oil company does service and delivery. And they've been doing it here for 15 years. So I was like, I'm going to start out with them because they know what's going on.
Your stuff.
And if we find a better offer or deal. My other kind of a heartbreak is this house came with these weird window awnings. You might have seen them. They're like canvas awnings that hang over your windows.
Oh, yeah.
And we had one of them on our old house that we took down because we didn't like it. This has like 8 of them. They're on the sides and the back of the house. I don't know why. I guess we'll find out why they were necessary after living here for a whole year. But I found out from another friend of mine who just bought a house 6 blocks away that those homeowners have to have a guy come and take them down and fix them and store them because you can't leave them up in the winter, or they will get destroyed by snow and ice.
Right, that makes sense.
And the reason you have a guy come is because some of them are really high up, and you don't have a ladder usually that can go that high. Oh, your butt right on the screen. So while I was out of the house, while the renovations were being done, I was at the grocery store or something. Apparently, the lady that used to live here had an awning guy, and he came and gave his business card to my contractor because he was going to take him down. And he said to the guys, you know, where is the owner? And they were like, oh, she doesn't own this house anymore. I guess she forgot to cancel him.
Oh.
And my contractor was like, I'm really sorry. I should have said nothing, and he would have taken him down, and then they would have billed you for it. So now I have to reschedule him, and I called like more than a week ago, and they still didn't come.
Oh, really?
So, but that's just one of those hidden expenses.
Right.
It's not a lot of money to have them come and take them down.
But it's another headache.
It's another headache. And then you got to reschedule with them in the spring to come and put them back on. And I'm really grateful that my friend bought a house that had them, because we never would have known that. We would have just left them on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
Who knew? Who knew? So there's that. There's like that. But it's a lot of work. There's a lot of dust in here after the floors were done, so I've been Swiffering like every day, and it's like in the air, and so it's always dusty.
Right.
My allergies have really been going crazy, but it's getting better. Like every time I clean it, I'm sure it's getting better. We have to replace every single outlet and switch plate, and all of that stuff has to be replaced because it's the wrong color and it's really old. In fact, in this room, there is a dimmer switch on the opposite wall, and whenever you use the light, it heats up so hot, we're afraid it's going to start a fire.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so we bought a new dimmer switch. So we're doing that right now. We need to have a refrigerator guy come in to hook up our refrigerator to the water and fix our ice maker, which stopped working several months ago. He's coming. Waiting on the plumber. He's coming. It's just...
the joys of a new home.
I feel like all I've been doing since June is giving people money to fix things in a house. Either to fix it to sell or fix it to live.
Yeah.
So that's like a heartbreak. But the crush is we have more than enough space for us and my parents. The holiday is going to be so much less stressful because people can spread out. My parents have cable and a little living room where if they don't want to come upstairs and be in the house with the rest of the family, if they need a little break, they don't have to come upstairs. So it will feel more like they're separate. You know, It can feel like when you're staying with somebody for several weeks, it can feel like you're right on top of them. That won't happen anymore. In our old house, literally, we were right on top of each other. And I have more than one bathroom. So now, whenever I go to the bathroom is not my daughter sitting in there. It's empty, which is like my number one thing. And I love the location of my house. It's quieter, and it's way more central. So when I do my 4-mile walk in the morning, it's really convenient. I don't have to cross any major roads.
Oh, good.
It's just, and I'm closer to Route 1 than I was before, and it's just a much nicer.
How about schools?
More
you have to
convenient.
drop off?
Well, it's only a 5 minutes longer for them to walk to our new place. So that's really lucky. Well, Lily, it's a little bit longer because she goes to the middle school, but there's no busing in my town, so my kids have to walk to school. So I only pick up if it's raining. Jim drops off if it's raining.
Right.
So, yeah, and my kids stayed in the same school, so we didn't have to deal with that hassle. That would have been a major thing. It's just going to be a slog getting everything unpacked and organized, and, you know, after that, the fun part starts where I can start thinking about what I want to put on the walls and, you know, the fun stuff, not the grungy, dragging stuff out of the attic stuff. So.
That's fine.
So, crush and heartbreak. I'm just glad it's over with. I feel like I have been stressed out for 4 months, and now I'm like, so.
Well, that's good.
Yep. Gossip and innuendo. We drew for our
4
Shawl
more
charity.
winners.
Yes.
For the charity shawl, and we really do appreciate all that donated.
Yes. Thank you to everyone who participated.
So the first winner was Nitty.
Before you say that, we went with a fall theme.
Oh, yes.
All of our prizes.
Fall/Halloween.
Either coordinate with fall or Halloween.
So the first prize is Nitty Barb, and we picked the Vesper sock yarn in the Witchy Woman colorway.
I love it.
It is. It's purples and greens and black. Definitely Halloween-y.
Yes. So enjoy Halloween with this.
Barb, get in touch with me with your snail mail. I'm sure I have sent something to you before, which I'm pretty sure I have. But get in touch with me anyways, please, through Ravelry. The next one is WKH25, post number 15. This was post 45. Post number 15, and you got the Mad Color Fiber Arts in the Evil Queen colorway. It's from the Mad Geek Tour. Luster is the yarn. Blueface Leicester wool light fingering. It's purples and greens as well. It's really pretty. And it looks like this where they meet. It's really nice. Pretty. It's beautiful. Then Miss Lily Knits, post number 48, has a skein of the Socks at Rock Blue Moon Fiber Arts in petroglyphs.
But I think it looks like fall leaves.
Looks like it does. It looks like fall leaves. And
I think it's pretty.
Get in touch with me again with your snail mail. I like this part here.
Yeah, I do too. It's really pretty. I like that pop of color in
It's almost like when the leaves are just starting to change and you have the bark.
Yeah, it's pretty. It reminds me of fall, so I think it's a nice.
The last but certainly not least is post number 36, Val Sue. Galaxy Poet Seat Yarn Glitter. It's 75% super merino wash, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina.
That's pretty.
This is pretty. It's
purpley blue and sparkly.
It's night sky-ish fall.
Yeah,
cold.
It's really pretty.
Cool. So get in touch with me for your yarns, and I will send them out as soon as I can.
Yes, and thank you so much for participating.
And we appreciate it. Don't forget to participate and enter in for the school colorways.
I know.
And fiber festivals.
Oh, there is one there's one fiber festival coming up, and it is the New England Fiber Festival, which is held at the Big E in West Springfield, Massachusetts. I am definitely going to that with my mother and my mom's friend, who's also my friend, like we do every year.
Good.
So if I'm there, if you're there between opening and noon, you might run into me. We don't usually stay very long. It's not a huge event. And my mom and I are like machines. We're like, get in, get out. But I'm excited to go because it will be the first festival this entire year that I've even come close to having the ability to go.
Right.
Because during the spring season was during my surgery and my pre-op surgery and post-op phase when I really couldn't go anywhere because I had all this stuff. And then fall was moving.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it. So hope to see you there if you're going. And if you haven't checked it out before and you live in the area, it's worth checking out. There are some really good vendors there. So
that'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a list of vendors on the website.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You can check out the list of vendors on the New England Fiber Festival website.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. And I think
that's it.
I
know we haven't recorded in a while and there's not much to say, but thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Anyways. We appreciate it.
And have a great week.
And with heart.
Bye.